You're watching another Nerd Stalker interview. Okay, we're live. Welcome to another Nerd Stalker interview. Good afternoon. This is Greg Gloria, aka Social Gray on Twitter for the Nerd Stalker Media Network. Today I'm pleased to talk with Lisa Abdilova, the product marketing manager of Microsoft, who recently launched a service at our SF New Tech event called Idea Lab. So a little bit about Lisa. She's been outreaching for over the last year for Microsoft, connecting with tech-savvy people in the Silicon Valley, and has been with Microsoft for over 3 years after graduating from Stanford with a degree in psychology, which means she's pretty smart. So, good afternoon, Lisa. Thanks for joining us here on Nerd Stalker Live from the Silicon Valley. She's busy networking there in the Silicon Valley. So, anything else you want to tell you about yourself to the Nerd Stalker audience?
Sure. Well, first, thanks for having me, Greg. It's been such a pleasure seeing you out at SF New Tech over the last, I guess, year or so now.
Yeah, at least, yeah.
So for a little bit of background, so I run our global meetups program, and I'm a product marketing manager for our consumer apps and services. And so that includes Outlook.com, OneDrive, Internet Explorer, and Bing. And so I've been going out and figuring out the most popular tech meetups around the world and setting up sponsorships there so that we can help those meetup events continue. And we've been setting up presences where we have the chance to offer up attendees at these events to experience our products for themselves. Because we all know that, ads and marketing will say one thing. I want you guys to experience our products for yourselves and then tell me what you think about them so that I can relay that back to our product teams and Microsoft can reach its full potential.
Yeah, I guess this is kind of a change in the, not big change, but in the recent philosophy of Microsoft to try to get to its user base a little bit quicker, a little bit easier with some of its new products, right?
That's literally my job. And that's what Idea Lab is about too, because then it's not just about introducing new differentiators that we're building out in our products, but it's also a matter of showing those ideas early and then having our community contribute to building out the best thing we possibly can.
So that's a great lead-in. I think we should start talking about Idea Lab. So I came across, like I said earlier, at SF New Tech, they've been a great sponsor of the SF New Tech event for over the years, a couple of years actually almost. And Lisa just in the last couple of weeks launched this idea called Idea Lab. So go into that a little bit for the audience and tell them about what Idea Lab is.
So this is a growing network of tech-savvy individuals that we're building out for Microsoft to be able to tap into and get feedback from. So the idea is that there are a few product teams that are working on some fresh things, and they'd like to have a set of people that we can run focus groups with, that we can show off early prototypes, and get some feedback, like whether this is something that people would genuinely actually use or not, or whether there's some fresh design principles or flows that we just haven't heard about yet, like up in Redmond. I get so energized every time I talk to people at these meetups that we sponsor, and I want to be able to bring those conversations more directly to the product teams. So I'm basically building out this database of people, and then we'll bring that database to the product teams that will then pull from them to host virtual meetups with us.
Oh, so that's where you want to go with this, is actually create communities of people. And depending on, I guess, their background, I know when I filled it out, there was a couple questions in there about some of the devices I use, but is that pretty much what you guys are going to do? Is get profiles of people to maybe target certain areas, certain demographics, certain age groups, or something like that?
Yeah. So it's so the A problem that I'm trying to solve with this is that oftentimes when companies will run focus groups, the people that they pull in aren't always tech savvy. They're not always early adopters. They're not always, they don't always geek out about tech the way that we do. But the people that we've been meeting at these meetups are like that. And so that's what I'm trying to, anyone that's interested in helping Microsoft refine product ideas, this is the way that I'm hoping to connect those two. So then that way, when we want to run focus groups, we bring it to the people that will, not only, appreciate it with kind of the same lens that we do, but also can give us even more, can help us workshop it.
Okay, so we lost Lisa there.
Oh,
Yeah, we
okay.
just a delay there. No problem. I'll edit that out. No problem. So I mean, yeah, you continue your thought there. You were talking about how this Idea Lab is going to connect with some of the users and stuff like that. That's where you got cut off.
Yeah, so essentially I want to be able to bring more, tech lovers in connection with Microsoft product teams so that the
Mhm.
two can workshop ideas together and build it out to be something that will have even more likelihood of landing well in market.
So this would be all online, right? I mean, I would think we would
Mhm.
use one of the Microsoft products. By the way, I am using today for this interview Microsoft OneDrive for my show notes. So I just want to tell everyone that, like, that's a very big change for Social Greg here because they usually use Google Drive. But I promised Lisa that I'll actually use Microsoft products for a week and then give it a shout and then tell her what I thought about it. So this is my week starts today. By the way. So anyway, did you come up with this idea lab for outreach for these people, or?
I mean, I can't take all the credit. It's definitely, it's something that my leadership and I have been talking about for a while. It's a matter of, we want to befriend tech enthusiast communities around the world through our sponsorships.
Mhm.
And this is a way to, bring that friendship, if you will, to something in a way it's a way for us to hang out with our new friends after. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I actually I wanted to ask you this question because you've been outreaching for a while, and I've seen you at SF New Tech on a monthly basis for the last year or more, and I mean, has there been a lot of information that you gathered from a lot of these tech events about your products, and can you know, I mean, I guess the Silicon Valley is quote unquote known for being kind of like early adopters of things. I mean, is
Hmm.
that something that you really believe is true?
Definitely. And
Mm.
I mean, I think that I grew up in San Francisco, so I'm really trying to win over the Bay Area. Um,
One
uh,
person at a time. One person at a time.
one meetup at a time is
One
actually a
meetup at a time.
hashtag I'm trying to start.
Okay, one meetup at a time.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, for me personally, I truly believe it's a really exciting time to watch Microsoft because there's a lot of things in the works, especially with Satya as our new CEO and this whole one Microsoft mentality across the company. And I'm really excited for my piece in it is helping tech enthusiast communities feel more connected with that mission and to hopefully I mean there's so many smart startup entrepreneurial minds out there that I want our product teams to be able to, to learn more from. And that's
So,
what I'm trying to do with Idea Lab.
so how does someone sign up for Idea Lab here? You could give a plug there.
Good question. So that is aka.ms/Idea Lab app. And you can ignore the two there. doing a
Okay.
little bit of A/B testing, see whether people are more interested in earning $50 gift cards in exchange for their feedback through this stuff, or whether it's more about helping us refine product ideas.
So when are you
But
going to
yeah,
start when are you going to start responding to people after they sign up? Or have you already started doing that, or are you?
I'll start reaching out next week.
Ah,
So we're
okay.
going to start onboarding people into the program. So we want to start running our first set of focus groups like as soon as possible. And if people aren't selected into this first wave, I'm sure they'll be selected into the next one. It's just, I, I'm really excited to see how it goes.
No, no, I could tell. I mean, well, and this is going to be a little bit different, and I don't know how they've done focus groups online and how successful they've been, but I think that what I could, usually the focus groups I'm used to with products, since I was a product manager for a hardware company, is we'd have that, that magic, one one-way mirror or whatever you want to call that, right? Where the guy's on one end and there's this guy trying to figure out how to ask certain questions, and then there's the product team behind the glass trying to, observe them and see what their look is. I mean, I'm sure you guys do stuff like that, but I mean, this is going to be a little bit different, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I look at it as I mean, you'd be working directly with the product teams, like directly with the people who are building this out, who are influencing the direction, and they are not going to be on the other side of the mirror. They'll be in the room there with you.
I see.
And of course, I mean, in the virtual meetup room. But of course, there will be, a third party, independent, or a facilitator for the actual focus groups, just to make sure that we stay on track and everyone gets their opinions heard and that kind of thing. But yeah, we're trying to spin something up a little bit new.
Wow, that's cool. So, I'll give you this opportunity if you want to talk about any of the new Microsoft products that have just come out that you're trying to outreach to your next tech event.
Cool. So in our next round of meetups, we're actually going to be talking a bit more about Microsoft Ventures, which, if you haven't heard about yet, is a team within our company that helps startups get started. And we do accelerator programs that are out there around the world. And there's one in particular in Seattle that is taking applications now for anyone that's interested in getting into smart home automation.
Wow.
So anyone into the Internet of Things. Applications are actually open now. And if you just search for Microsoft Ventures accelerators, then you'll be able to come up on that application.
Okay, cool. That's
And
great.
we will see you at one of our sponsored meetups next month, where we'll tell you more about that.
Wow. Okay. We'll have to do this on a monthly basis, I guess, huh? Because
If you
I need to
invite
catch up on
me.
I need to catch up on all the Microsoft stuff here. But anyway, so maybe we'll close off the interview unless you want to talk about some other products. But how do people get a hold of you, and where's the next meetup you're going to go to? How's that?
So you can reach me at Abdilisa. That's my Twitter handle. So Abdilisa.
Yeah, she's
So
very active on that.
or you can email me at globalmeetups@microsoft.com.
Global
And
meetups.
the next meetup that we'll be at is actually going to be in Washington, D.C.
Ooh.
And we're launching our sponsorship there next week, and that's where I'm headed next.
Well, is it a political tech meetup? No, I'm not sure what it
We'll
is.
see. That's been one of the coolest things, is seeing how much these tech communities differ. I mean, it's like Seattle techies and Santa Monica techies to Silicon Valley techies. It's night and day.
Yeah, I think we're going to have to do this on a monthly basis just to keep track of what you're doing out there, Abdulisa. But yeah, maybe we'll do this on the road. Yeah, it will be a Nerd Stalker spot, on the road with Abdulisa or something like that. Anyway, yeah.
That's got a good ring to it.
Yeah, pretty cool actually. It was pretty cool. But anyway, thanks for joining, speaking with us about the Idea Lab. I think it's a really good idea, and hopefully I'll get in. I did apply last week, so hopefully the Nerd Stalkers will get in. So.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much.
Okay. Well, anyway, thank you. That was Lisa Abdilova, product marketing manager of Microsoft, trying to connect their product developers to with you, the tech community. And thanks for joining us, everyone. This is Greg Gloria, aka Social Greg on Twitter for the Nerd Stalker Media Network, where we build in tech, startups, design, and you. Thanks for joining us, everyone, and be careful out there. Thanks, Lisa, and be careful on your travels there.
Thanks so much, Greg.
All right. Take care.
Bye.
Thanks for joining us, everyone. This is Greg Gloria, aka Social Greg on Twitter for the Nerd Stalker Media Network, where we believe in tech, startups, design, and you. Thanks again for joining us, and be careful out there.